rights. As a student leader of the 2014 Umbrella Movement, he inspired millions. Today, he continued to advocate for the people of Hong Kong on the international stage, reminding the world the struggle for freedom knows no borders. Alex.
Our friends from Tibet. I will have to acknowledge that it is very difficult to come to this stage and to come up with any words to share with you. Because if it is a protest, we could rally to the Chinese embassy with a chain, we could see like a CCP down. But the context of this rally is just too heavy. With a dear Tibetan community member engaging in self-immolation, even I myself, I think it takes time to process. And I can't even imagine what is the most appropriate word to show support, to walk alongside with our Tibetan friends. I think that's my biggest concern. I think my presence today is not to rally for any action, because I feel like I'm in no position to do that, because each of you being here today, being present at the Times Square, waving your flag, chanting Ransa's theme, is already exemplifying the spirit of our dear friend who want all of us to continue to fight until the day CCP is down, until the day Tibet is free. I remember the day when our dear friend engaged in self-immolation. I was actually technically about to schedule an interview to talk to one of the Tibetan community members, to ask them, to learn from them how the Tibetan community in exile can be that resilient, and in what way the Hong Kongers to learn from you, to learn how to build an institution, to recover from exile, to grieve, to process the sense of loss, to process our political violence, the political trauma, so we recover from being pushed out from our hometown, from being disconnected, being cut off from our family members, to being able to adapt to a new host country, unfamiliar with the culture, the language, the system, the institution, and still able to rebuild a community from afar. Now that we could enjoy our freedom in the US, but also to fight for our friends, our colleagues back in jail, behind bar, so that one day we can reunite. And I can't imagine when the moment we were about to engage in a call, I was notified the incident happened. And it is even harder for me to imagine when our Tibetan friends, as each of you have been telling others, to not let the sacrifice becomes just another 3-second news cycle, but to activate the force, to activate the energy, to spread the words, to make more people hear of the story, so the sacrifice would not be a wasted cause, so the spirit could sustain and be passed to more and more people. So I think as a Hong Konger, what I can do here today is to really to remind each other and to pay our tribute, to let our Tibetan friends know, until the day Tibet is free, Hong Kongers would be always walking alongside you to fight for free Tibet! Free Tibet! Free Tibet! Free Tibet! Free Tibet! Free Tibet! Let's not give up until Tibet is free.
Thank you, Alex. Now we have Tibetan children from DC to honor our martyr.
이제 이게 라면도 벽에 라면도 것이다 숨도 뒤에 싸신 거로 봐. 아니 그만서 되는데 지게게 망고여서 지게게 라면 생기도 야 수저 얘가 좀 땅을 쓰고 야구상 땅 같이 지역을 알아. 아 벽에 지역을 인식에 벽에 연디로 와. 야 야능에 딱 집에 돈다린다 인식에 지역이다. All right. A moment before, I realized personally, with the group I came from Washington D.C. in a chartered bus. We all know how long it takes for us. You want to know how long it took us? About 5 hours. This is how Tibet problem is difficult. I have never experienced it in my life. This says a lot about the struggle that we are facing in this terrible earth. We have to be extra strong, extra strong. Now, I only a few words before I introduce the young kids who will decide the beautiful names of the 160 or 70 who have given their life for Tibet. Starting with New Delhi, the first self-immolation, you all know, following a demonstration organized by the Tibetan Youth Congress, we became the first one who gave his life. Then in a decade's time, things blew up in Tibet, starting with Tabila and onwards, how many people have given their lives. And also followed in India and Nepal, at least about a dozen. Luckily, some of them still alive. Some are even nowhere in Tibet, but majority have gone beyond our earth. By this time, it's almost 20 plus years, and many of them, I'm sure, they're born again in Tibet, nowhere but in Tibet. And I'm sure they will continue this struggle for us. And today, as we remember Paul Losang Rangden, Lord Rangden, don't get me surprised, I happen to be a close friend. I cried for him. Yesterday, knowing that I would be traveling here, I couldn't sleep for hours. And just as now, tears falling. Finally, this morning I wake up, my pillow is totally wet. So much for my feelings. I know this is in everybody's heart in Tibet and in and outside Tibet. And we are facing a new generation of young Tibetans who need to follow us. Our main purpose for being here is also to remember those who have already given their lives, about 170. We have a long list. And we have asked our upcoming young from our Sunday school kids, because of time, we won't be going into details. They will simply say their names and read about 20-30 names of those who passed away without giving any details because of time. But I must tell you, all those who died for Tibet, as young as 17, and the oldest was 62. Can you imagine that? So, the Loga Ramjan's self-immolation has fired up internationally. We all know that he's no longer with us, but we also know those about 169, 70, they are gone, they are already back. Some are there in their 20s. Of course, you don't know that. But Loka Ramjan is still there. You know, our tradition for 49 days is not gone beyond despair. He's still in what you call the transition, Tibet Parko. He's living in a dream, and unlike those who all die, how can he sleep during these 47 days? He must be traveling, coming back here, hearing us, and when we don't respond, it's a knockout for him. Oh my God, I must be dead. Then he goes in dream. And I'm sure because of the so much attention internationally and the protest, I'm sure he has been flying all over the world because now he doesn't need a visa. And today he's waiting. He'll be with us until the 49th day when we will have the final goodbye for him. So with this, I'll close my remarks. Thanks for your listening. And all these young people to read the names of all those who deceased for Tibet.
Hey,
I'm a 14-year-old student from my Tibetan Lapta located in Vienna. Tuktengutu, Tape, Lopsong Kunso, Tsering Nobu, Lopsong Kuncho, Lopsong Kasang, Kasang Wongcho, Kayang, Chopel, Norbu Damdo, Tenzin Wangmo, Dawa Tsering, Bauden Chutso, Rongta Tenzin Punso, Tenye, Sotung, Sonam Wangyao, Lopsang Jamyang, Rikpa, Rinzin Dorji, Sonam Rabyang, Tenzin Choden, Lopsang Gyatso, Damjo Sangpo, Nangjo, Tsering Rinjinki, Dorji, Gebe, Jamyang Bauden, Lopsang Sotung, Sonam Target, Lopsang Sherab, Chimi Bauden, Tempa Target.
Hi, my name is Tenzin Gunzang. I'd say Tulku Atup Sonam Chilpakyap Doji Tseden Targe Rikyu Tamdintar Tenzin Kedu Ngawang Norfel Digi Chunzun Sewang Doji Lopsang Lozin Lopsang Tsozin Dogatso Cheba Dashi Lumto Lopsang Kesang Lopsang Damche Pasang Khamo Hyungdun Kutuk Sangye Gyatso Damdin Dorji Lamo Gyap Tonduk Dorji Rinchen Tenzin Tsepo Lamo Tseden Tubang Gyap
Tsering Yimi Renzi Wangui Dorje Lunjo Tsegyao Damding Cho Dorje Kyao Dorje Samdrup Kalsang Jimba Gompo Tsering Ninkar Dashi Ninchak Bum Benzi Doma Karbum Gyao Chagmoki Sangdak Tsering Wangchen Norbo Tsering Tendo Lubum Tsering Damarin Gyao Damarin Dorje Sangye Zoma Kuncho Tsering Gombo Tsering Wangyao Sangyao Tashi Kalsang Kyao Wangden Kar Tsering Namgyao Kuncho Kyao Sungdu Kyao Lopsang Gendun Bema Dorje Kuncho Pelge Penchinki Tsering Tashi Tsering Penso
Tashdele Nyeming Pemayin Kunchok Kya Lopsang Namgyal Dubakar Namla Tsering Rinchen Sonam Targe Pagmo Tunduk Sangdak Chedung Kyap Kunchok Wangmo Lopsang Tokme Kyalki, Tamokya, Kunchok Chomo, Kunchok Tenzin, Shukcho, Kunchok Reser, Lopsang Dawa, Tenzin Sherap, Wangchen Dolma.
Today I'm going to be reading you all the people who sacrificed their life to Tibetans. Kunchok Sonam, Sichung, Tsering, Kunchok Seten, Sultim, Gatso, Pagmo Samdu, Lopsang Dorji, Jigme Tenzin, Lopsang Choden, Doma, Tinli Namgyel, Kunchok Lamotashi. Thank you.
Naming a soon come of Singiri, Martinetta, Mutuchen, Jalushu, Church, Matu, temperature seat, and the Kuli, Mejuki, to the tension day. You dare someone no good, Turkey Puppet sitting, Shirap, Seto, Kutu, Champagne, Shake, two chain sitting, Karma, Woody, Tatsu. Dorjit sitting, Tenji Chuyam, Pasang, Tundu, Yoga Ramzin. Now, the Tinja Chechamatu, Tabado, the Bachipsi, the Miriki, the Kulu, Mejuki, Gata, Tundu, Tunji Substitution, Shadima, the Hakovative, the Hamakovati, Mama Yosiri. And then they all, the above mentioned Tibetans who sacrificed, who self-emulated for Tibetans, have said the same slogan. Long live His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Pe Gelo, Pe Rangzin. So please raise these slogans after me. Long live His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Long live His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Pe Gelo, Pe Gelo, Pe Rangzin, Pe Rangzin, Pe Rangzin, Pe Rangzin.
I would like to request TLC Commissioner Valdivia to hand them a scarf. TLC Commissioner here.
Thank you, TLC Commissioner Valdivia, for your presence. We appreciate this.
To present our official New York State Assembly citation in solemn honor of Paulo Garanzila and his ultimate sacrifice for Tibet, please welcome Assembly Stephen Rogan representing District 30. Stephen Rogan.
Happy to join our community here. Thank you so much for the Tibetan National Congress and New Yorkers who are coming here to make sure that we're here to not ever forget the sacrifice of martyr Lokpa Ronson, our neighbor here in New York. I am so proud as an assembly member in Western Queens to represent Woodside, Jackson Heights, Elmhurst, one of the largest Tibetan communities here in the state of New York. And in our community, we know that we must fight for a free Tibet. Free Tibet! Here in Queens and across our 5 boroughs, we know that human rights must be universal. We know that no matter where we live in this earth, that human rights are rights for everyone, and we cannot forget that. So, we must not forget that just because of our martyr here and all the others who self-immolate, the 171, that everyone who has fought for not forgetting and fighting for Tibetan culture, Tibetan identity, Tibetan language will not just be not ever forgotten, but we lift up the torch and the fight, and we continue it here in New York, here in the city, the state of New York, and all over the world. So I am proud to always stand with you, not just in remembrance and commemoration, but we know that we must make sure we prioritize here in Times Square, here in New York City, here in the United States of America, that we know, our neighbors know, that we must have a free Tibet in our lifetime. So let's come together. I'm so proud to join you. Thank you, Tibetan National Congress, and long live our martyr, Lokpa Ronson. Thank you so much. Happy to join.
Thank you so much, Assembly Member Stephen Roga. Our next speaker carries forward a deep family legacy for Tibetan freedom, son of Dr. Rinpoche and nephew of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and a dear friend of Paul Loga Ronson, and have walked many times for Tibet, Mr. Gunga Nubla.
Dele. My name is Gunga Norbu, and I'm the son of the late Dr. Rinpoche, the elder brother of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. As you may have heard, my father started the march for the Rongzen movement once he retired from his day job as a professor at Indiana University. Yet, they never allowed their differing political approach to divide them. They respected and trusted each other. They stood together unwavering in their commitment to Tibet. They shared a common vision to work for the happiness and well-being of the Tibetan people. The torch of this moment was passed on and carried forward by my late younger brother, Jigme Norbu. After his passing during the Rongzen March in 2011 in Florida, I joined my nephews, Jigme La's son, to carry on the legacy of the Rongzen March that same year. From the point on, I engaged in several other walks for the Rongzen movement. In 2013, I walked with Lobsang Rongzen from Washington, D.C. to New York City. and we walked together on few other marches for Rongzhen. I came to know my friend Lobsang well during these walks, and we became friends. I was invited to his apartment in New York City, and we spent nights together talking. Through these personal connections, as usual, we engaged in conversation about Tibet and the Rongzhen movement. Although I deeply admire his sacrifices for the Rongzhen movement in Tibet, this time it still breaks my heart badly. Without much emotional outburst, I'm here today to remember my dear friend Lobsang Rongzhen and his sacrifices. I'm also here today to honor this act of bravery, which is certainly brings back memories of my late father's and my brother's determination towards the Rongzhen movement. Lobsang Rongzhen was my friend and my co-activist, and I will cherish the memories we created together. I will remember for years to come. In my mind, he was my hero, and he will remain a hero for Tibet and the whole movement. We'll remember his call to be reunited in the struggle for the Tibetan cause. We'll remember the over 170 Tibetans who have resorted to self-immolation for Tibet. We'll be advocates for our brothers and sisters in Tibet, as envisioned by His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and as reminded by my friend Loga Rongzhen with these words. I would like to draw your attention to the word of my late father, Taksa Rinpoche, Tupten Jigmin Norbu. He said, from the start, from the last breath, never forget our country, Tibet. It was never part of China. Be proud of who you are. I am a Tibetan. Per Gyalo. Per Rongzhen Gyalo. Victory for Tibet. Victory for Rongzhen.
Victory for Rongzhen.
Victory for unity for Tibet.
Victory for unity for Tibet.
And long live His Holiness the Dalai Lama.
Long live.
Samala tashi delo. Nya rapten jam so yo ani do okka tore jamna inji tore jamna ta okka jamna ni jera. Ani nga nama tafserum buchi shilo shiggo gupje ko sonlo tafserum buchi Indiana ni and Birmingham Indiana wa ta kumdo thang na sha ani shiggo gupje ko nalo Washington DC ni New York wa ta tafserum buchi shi kumdo na sha 아니 디질라 지금이 노르고 공도지 아니 타니 홀로데가니 공도 용지 건가 노르고 다 만탔다 시 공도 말에 어디 갔길라 니또 직성으로 로가람단다 노르고 건가 노르고 당가서 냠도 용이 때도 모두 되지면서 워싱턴 DC니 그 뉴욕에 시 공도 니만 쳤다비로 말에 다 소데 그 마샤크메 두조 털라래 아니 무슨 참아야 저거 조각섬 저거 독자 치들 아니 진냥 딩냥 에딩라고 람센 손나래 가마 손나래 참아야 저거 카자 코너라고 독자 치들이라고 카트 자자 조인 저거 인형거리 있더니 뭐뭐 참아라 먹으시게요 타마된 저거 모두 참아야 저거 람센 제데 loka ramjang ga gare lab ya ta ta no je ga je chu chi ya ma ta ma ko ga song ji ma ji ji na no to ta no ji chang ma shi ji ga jo ga nyang ko ri ta ne su zo ga ri ya ta bo ge shi ga yo so so in na man tan te ga ram ta chang ma ga to ta te ram bo chi go mo ju ta te ga so so ga ma ta so so wo ji ni do ta ram ta ma thop jo ta so so tam cha tam bo ye bo ja lo
Next, I invite Ryan Forrest, the Executive Director of ICT and a former U.S. State Department Senior Advisor on Tibetan issue.
Delek. My name is Ryan Furesi. I'm the Executive Director of the International Campaign for Tibet. It's an honor to be here with all of you. Thank you. To the family members of Lobgala, members and supporters of the Tibetan community, and all who have gathered here tonight, we come together in grief. On July 2nd, in front of the United Nations, Lobga Rangzin self-immolated and tragically passed shortly thereafter. He was a native of Kardza, a devoted monk, and above all, he was a son of Tibet. He came to the United States in 2006 and spent nearly 20 years engaged in selfless activism on behalf of his people, refusing to let the world look away from his homeland. Tonight we mourn him and we hold his family and all who love him in our hearts. While we grieve, we also cherish the call in Lobgala's final message, where he said he did not want our mourning. He wanted us to redouble our effort, strengthen our unity, and raise our voices to the international community to proclaim that Tibet can no longer be ignored. His appeal has never been more urgent. One day before he died, the Chinese Communist Party's so-called ethnic unity and progress law came into effect, giving legal cover to what Beijing has pursued for decades, the systematic dismantling of Tibetan language, religion, and identity. Lobgala understood what that means. It means every Tibetan who still speaks their language, teaches a child a prayer, holds a picture of His Holiness, engages in an act of resistance. He thanked Tibetans inside Tibet for exactly that, for their resilience and bravery despite the extraordinary risks. And he reminded Tibetans in exile and their supporters that we are their voice in places they cannot reach, like this one. That is why our activism cannot stop at our own movement. The Tibetan struggle is bound to the Uyghurs, the Hong Kongers, the Southern Mongolians, the Taiwanese, and to every person of conscience that refuses to accept that a government may erase a people. Broad coalitions are how movements persevere and how they win. We at the International Campaign for Tibet are more resolute than ever in our determination to build international support for Tibet and partner with all of you and Tibet supporters everywhere to ensure that Tibetan voices are heard at the highest levels around the world. But unity and effectiveness is not only a matter of numbers or coalitions, it's a matter of principles. His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, has shown us for decades what ours must be: nonviolence, compassion, and a commitment to helping others towards the betterment of our common humanity. These are not fleeting values. They are our North Star. They are also a source of our moral authority in every capital and every global institution, including the United Nations. So we ask the UN and its member states in explicit terms, condemn the Ethnic Unity and Progress Law and demand its repeal. Urge China to engage with His Holiness the Dalai Lama or his representatives in genuine dialogue. Hold Beijing accountable for its appalling repression and what it is doing to a people who simply want to practice their faith, speak their language, pass on the rich culture and traditions of Tibet to their children, and live their lives in freedom and dignity in their homeland. While Lobga is gone, his legacy of selfless activism is not, nor is our collective work for the Tibetan people. Let us take it up together with unity, with purpose, and with a resolute determination to fight for what is right. Long live His Holiness the Dalai Lama. We need 2 more. Long live His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Long live His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan.
Fist hand indication in that. Changma rangsin yellow.
It's a silent march. We're going from Times Square to United Nations. So it's just a silent. Please prayer inside your heart. But we are going to march to the United Nations where Paulo Arante sacrificed himself for our nation. Wait, can you just wave your hand? Okay, so please follow Sunamla. We're going to march. Silent march, please protect the kids. Please, two lines. Line me together. Ani puchin je do pamala pamanyamdu yamuchin dorona sabsab chije. Ngazo line me together. Sunam gambe korang la follow chirochi. Ani mamen di on chirochi di kado. Sunam please, it's a silent march with a cover your mouth, and we're going to march to the United Nations. And prayers in your heart, please. Prayers in your heart. Candle Maranati, you please turn on your candle.
Yellow!
this point, I respectfully ask everyone to take out this white cloth and cover your mouth. Please be careful. So cover your mouth. The cao rear cao the kha dam lo nang kha da. The gyumsan the khari lana. Ngazo pheba din de nyang de ore ne yo. UN da chige da changma da 상막 먼저 카좀 되도 제산 디기 천재디 제도 먼저 카다메 디김세디 아니 이네 오다에게 서나 나고 디워라 미만량도 많이 나 지르들어
This is what the UN is to Tibet's cause. They're dead silent. We need to wake them up, but we gotta wake up first. We gotta take action, be it individual, be it organization. Take initiatives and support the organization taking initiatives. Pagalo!